Alright, so we're going to look at the 2025 National Test and the 3 test paper, the math. Alright, so let's jump right into it. First question, which of the following shows the numeral 3069 in expanded notation? So we have 3069, ones, tens, hundred, thousands. So we know to expand the number, we multiply the digit by its place value, so that is 3 by 1000. Add, well, there's 0 by 100, so we can leave out those. 6 by 10 plus 9 by 1. So that would be option C. Number 2, what number is missing from the pattern below? So looking at this pattern, we realize that we are increasing. So if we are increasing, we either add or we multiply. So we have 3656, and then we move to 4656. We also increase here from 6656 to 7656. So we realize that we were increasing by 1000. Alright, so we add 1000. So we add 1000 to 4656, so we got 5656. Option C. Farmer George puts 6,500 oranges in bags. Each bag can hold 100 oranges. How many bags does he need? So we are grouping in bags, and each bag holds 100. So 100 oranges is equal to 1 bag. So for 6,500 oranges, it would be 6,500 divided by 100. And when dividing by 100 and the numbers ends in 0, we can cancel the 0. So this and this can cancel, this and this can cancel. This becomes 65 divided by 1, which is the same as 65. So you need 65 bags. Number 4, circle the correct word name to complete the table below. So we have 5/8. So 5/8. Good. What is 8,759 rounded to the nearest hundred? So when we round it off to the nearest hundred, we look at the hundreds position and the tens position. Alright, so we look at the hundreds and the tens. We look at the tens position here and we realize it as a 5. So if the number is greater than 5 or equal to 5, we add 1 to the hundreds position. So now we know that 5 is equal to 5. So therefore we add 1 to the hundreds position. So this becomes 8. The thousands value remain the same. The hundreds digit changed to an 8. And all the numbers on the right hand side will be replaced with 0. So we got 8,800. C. What is 37 over 7 expressed as a mixed number? To convert an improper fraction to a mixed number, we divide the numerator by the denominator. 7 could go into 37 5 times. 7 5 is 35. 7 take away 5 is 2, 0. We take the quotient and make it the whole number and place the remainder over the divisor to form our fraction. So it's 5 and 2 sevens. What is the time shown below in digital form? So the minute hand is pointing to the 4, which represents 20 minutes. And it is on the past side of the clock. And the hour hand is closer to the 10, but between the 10 and 11. So this is 20 minutes past 10. 10:20. Which is the most appropriate unit to measure the distance from San Fernando to Mayaro? Well, that's a long distance, so we use kilometers. The bag of potato weighs 6 kilograms. How many grams does the bag of potato weigh? So we have kilograms and we want to change it to grams. We know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So for 6 kilograms, it will be 6 multiplied by 1000, which will give us 6,000 grams. Number 10, 6 liters of juice are poured in 2 milliliter glasses. How many glasses are needed? So we have liters, then we have milliliters. So we convert the liters to milliliters. Again, we know that 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. So 6 liters would be 6 by 1000, which is equal to 6,000 milliliters. To find out how many could fit, we divide. So 6,000 divided by 200. Again, both numbers end in zeros, so we could cancel the zeros. Now this becomes 60 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Add the 0 in the end, so we got 30. What solid is shown below? This is a triangular prism. Which of the following is true about a regular polygon? All sides are equal. It is regular, so that means all sides are equal. The tally chart shows the insects Ariana saw in her backyard. Which insect did she see the most? So the one with the most here is flies. Has the most number of flies that she saw. The bar graph below shows the favorite sports of students in a class. How many more students prefer cricket than basketball? So cricket, we realize, is 9. And basketball is 6. So to find out how much more, it would be 9 take away 6, which is equal to 3. 3 more. Lily had 5 11th meter of ribbon. Her mother gave her 4 11th meter more. Lily used 7 11th meter of ribbon for a craft project. What fraction of ribbon was left? So first we need to find out the total ribbon that she has. So total ribbon would be 5 11ths that she had, add the 4 11ths that the mom gave her. 5 out 4 is 9 over 11. From this 9 11ths meter, she used 7 11ths. So to find out the fraction remained, so fraction left would be from the total that she had, which is 9 11ths, we take away the 7 11ths. 9 take away 7 is, so she ended up with 2 11th meters. Calculate the 5th element of the pattern below. So again, the pattern is increasing, so either we multiply or we could divide. So to move from 12 to 24, we could multiply by 2. 24 to 48, we multiply by 2. 48 to 96, we multiply by 2. So therefore the pattern rule is to multiply by 2. So 6 2 is 12. 92 is 18, and was 19. So the next pattern is 192. And I explain the pattern rule is multiply by 2. The sum of two numbers is 174. One of the number is 98. What is the other number? Alright, so 98 plus some number will give us a sum of 174. To find out what the number is, it would be 174 subtract 98. Alright, and that will give us good. So 174 minus 98, and we're looking at 76. Alright, a shopkeeper buys 67 chairs at $55 each. He sells them for $75 each. Calculate his profit. So we know the cost price of one chair. So one chair, cost price one chair is $55. The selling price of one chair is $75. So the profit of one chair would be the selling price, take away the cost price, which would be the $75, take away the $55, that will give us $20. So we profited $20 on one chair. Calculate his profit, and it's 67 chairs. So total profit would be the profit for one chair, which is 20, multiplied by the number of chairs, which is 67, and 20 multiplied by 67 is 1,340. That's one way you could have done it. Another way is calculate the total paid. So total paid would be the 67 chairs multiplied by the cost for one chair, which he paid for $55, and that will give us $3,685. Then we could calculate the total earned after selling. So total earned. 67 chairs sold. He sold each one for $75. So the total amount of money earned was $5,025. To calculate the total profit, we take in the total earned, which is $5,025, and subtract the total paid, which is $3,685. And that will leave us with $1,340. Alright, so we have two ways in which you could have done it. Write the smallest even number using 4 digits. So if you're using the 4 digits, that means they want a 4-digit number. They want the smallest even number. We know an even number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So that means this number needs to end in either 4 or 0. Alright. They want the smallest 4-digit number. Alright. So we could start with 3. Then we could go 0. Then we could go 9. And then we could go 4. We end with the 4 because that is an even number, forms an even number. And we put the 0 in the hundreds position because that will form the smallest number there based on the place value position. Joe and Kyle bought 2 identical pizzas. Joe ate 7/10 of his pizza. Kyle ate 3/5 of his pizza. Who ate more? Explain why. So basically we need to compare fractions here. So we have 7/10 for Joe and 3/5 for Kyle. Different denominators, so we want to change the smaller denominator to the same size as the larger denominator by multiplying. So we multiply by 2. Whatever we do in the denominator, we do it in the numerator. So this is 7/10, and now this becomes 3 to 6 over 10. We realize 7/10 is greater than 6/10. So the question asks, who ate more pizza? The person who ate 7/10, which is Joe. So Joe ate more pizza because 7/10 is greater than 3/5. Number 21, 8 guavas cost $12. How much would 10 guavas cost? So if you know 8 guavas is equal to $12, before we could find out for many, we need to find the cost for one. So 1 guava will be the $12 divided by 8. And 12 divided by 8. 8 can go into 12 one time. 1 8 is 8. Subtract 4. So this becomes 1 and 4 eighths. 4 eighths now could be reduced to 1/2. So we have 1 and 1/2. So this represents $1 and a half of a dollar. half of a dollar is 50 cents. So this is $1.50. To calculate the cost for 10 guavas, it will be the cost for one, which we just worked out to be $1.50, multiplied by 10, and that will give us $15. Alright. Number 23, the diagram of a garden is shown below. Calculate the perimeter of the garden. So to calculate perimeter, we know perimeter is the distance around, which means that we need to have all the sides. But looking at this, we are missing this side here. This here is a vertical line that we need to solve for. So all we need to do is to look at all the vertical lines to determine what it is. So taking into consideration this here now, if we think about it as though we bring in this line here, we push in this 4 here to connect here, and then pushing this 4 here to connect here again now, we realize that the distance from here to here is the same as the distance over here, which is 15. So to calculate for the unknown side, which I called x, it will be the total length 15, take away the sum of these here, because this little piece here would be 4, and this little piece here is 4. So that's 15, take away 4 meters, add 4 meters, which will be 8 meters. So 15 meters, take away 8 meters, and that will give us 7 meters. So the unknown side here is 7 meters. Now we can find the perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around. So we add in, I normally add in a clockwise direction, so we won't miss out any values. So 11 meters plus 15 meters plus 11 meters plus 4 meters plus 6 meters plus 7 meters plus 6 meters plus 4 meters. Alright, 6 out 4 is 10, and 10 by 20. 64 meters we will get. Alright, so good. Alright, next we have a delivery truck left a warehouse at 3 p.m. He drove for 1 hour and 15 minutes, then stopped for 20 minutes. He continued driving for 30 minutes. So what time did he arrive at his destination? So the arrival time now, so we say 3 p.m. add 1 hour would be 4 p.m. 4 p.m. plus 15 minutes would give us 4:15 p.m. So we account for this already. Now 4:15 p.m. plus 20 minutes would be 4:35 p.m. So we account for this here. Now 4:35 p.m. plus 25 minutes will give us to the nearest whole hour, which would be 5 p.m. And we need just 5 more minutes to make up this 30 minutes. So 5 p.m. plus 5 minutes is equal to 5:05 p.m. So our answer is 5:05 p.m. Calculate the area of the triangle drawn on the grid below. Alright, so if one side is 1 centimeter, to calculate the area of one of these small squares is side by side, which is equal to 1 cm by 1 cm, which is equal to 1 centimeter square. All we need to do is to count how many squares form this shape here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 solid ones. No, 15. And then these two, 16, 17, 18. The halves will come together to form a whole. So we have 18 multiplied by 1 cm squared is equal to 18 centimeters squared. Number 25. The pattern below has an error. Circle the error in the pattern, draw the correct order of the elements. So you have circle, square, circle, triangle, circle, square, circle, triangle, circle, square, circle, triangle. So the arrow would be here. So circle, square, circle, triangle. So this is the area. So it needs to be a circle and a square. Circle, square, circle, triangle. Draw all the lines of symmetry for the shape below. So we have one vertical, one horizontal. Although it's in a square, remember we have these two triangles inside. So it could only fold in half this way and fold in half that way. Alright. Number 27, Mary collected the following pictures of animals. Complete the table below to show the information. So we need to complete the tally. So for the cat, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dog, we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. A survey of modes of transportation was conducted in a standard 3 class. Some of the information is presented below. There are 24 students in the class and all the students participated in the survey. Complete the paragraph above. So bus is missing, so we need to complete for bus. We know when we add a bicycle, taxi, bus and walk, we're supposed to get a total of 24. So to calculate what the bus is, we take from the total the sum of the known values, which would bicycle is 2, taxi would be half here, so that is 7, and then we have walk is 4. So this would be 7, 13, so that's 24, take away 13, which is equal to 11. So that means on the set to complete the bar graph, so 11 will be between the 10 and the 12. You try and use your ruler. Good. Write the missing number. This equal sign means that whatever is on this side is the same as whatever is on that side. Alright, so let's solve for this here first. So 23 plus 14 is equal to 37. So here is equal to 37. So we have some number, take away 6, add 14 is equal to 37. So all we need to do is to group all the numbers on one side and all the unknown things on one side. So we could carry across these here. Alright. Basically we are trying to remove those numbers. And to remove those numbers, we just do the opposite operation of them. So let's say, so we have the box now would be equal to 37. Take away, so when I carry across the plus 14, it now becomes subtract 14. And we have the subtract 6 will become plus 6. So 37 take away 14 will be 23 plus 6. So this becomes 29. So the unknown number here would be 29. 29 take away 6 plus 14. That will give us back to 37. Mr. Thomas is packing cans of peas into boxes. He is putting an equal number of cans into each box. He has just reached the 98th can and started to fill box 13, which is not completely filled. How many more cans does he need to fill box 13? So he is filling cans and he reached on box 13, but box 13 is not full. So that means he has 12 full boxes. Alright, so he has 12 full boxes. And he has 198 cans. So that means, not 198, 98 cans. Alright, so 98 cans divided by 12. That means it will be 896 divided by 2. So that means he is putting 8 cans per box. And he will have 2 remaining. So if he's putting 8 cans in a box and he has 2 remaining, that means to find out how much more he needs, it will be 8, take away the 2, and that will be 6 more cans. So he needs 6 more cans to complete box 13. Because right now, with the 98, that means he used 96 in the 12 boxes, so each one of them getting 8. And then now, he had 2 remain, and that 2 he put in the 13th box. And now to make up a complete box, he needs to add up 6 more to make a group of 8 in box 13. Alright, number 31. Daddy shared some money among his 3 children, Lara, Sheldon, and Trisha. He gave Lara $30. So let's write down this information. Lara, $30. Sheldon got $10 less than Trisha, but $20 more than Lara. So that means Sheldon got what Lara got, which is the $30 plus $20 extra. So he has $50. And they said Sheldon got $10 less than Trisha. So that means Trisha got $10 more than Sheldon. So that means whatever Sheldon got, which is $50, Trisha got $10 more than that. They said how much money did Daddy share? So to find out the total shared, very simple. We just worked out how much each one of them received. And to calculate the total, it would be 30 plus 50 plus 60. Alright, there's 80 plus 60, 140, $140 he shared. Alright. The diagram below shows 2 bags on a scale. The flour weighs 150 grams more than the sugar. Calculate the weight of the sugar. So reading this graph here now, this scale here now, we see it is 5 kilograms. But we know we have grams. So I'll change this 5 kilograms into grams. And that becomes 5,000 grams. So that means when we add both items together, these both items together, it would be equal to 5,000 grams. However, with this 5,000 grams, we're removing a part that is 1,500 grams and we're putting it aside to be given to the flour. So this going to the flour. So then we have the remainder here, which is this. We have the remaining part that is going to be split between these 2 items, the flour and the sugar. So now we need to find out how much is this remaining part. So let's work it out here now. So we know we take the 5,000 grams, which is the total mass, and we remove. And to remove it, we subtract the 1,500 grams. So that is the extra that we put in aside for the flour. So that will leave us with 3,500 grams. And now this 3,500 grams was split between these 2 items, 1, 2. So we divide it by 2. And that will give us 1,750 grams. So what that means now is the sugar is 1,750 grams. And the flour is 1,750 grams plus the extra 1,500 grams here that we had put aside. Alright, plus that amount. Alright. And that's how we get in our 5,000 back. But the question just asks for sugar. So sugar was just this here. So we didn't need to add back to find flour. Alright. Ken is buying juice to serve 12 persons. Each person received 250 milliliters of juice. The juice can be purchased in 2 ways as shown below. Good. So if it's 12 persons, each with 250 milliliters, let's see how much juice is this in total. So one person is equal to 250 milliliters. So for 12 persons, it would be 250 multiplied by 12, which is 3000 milliliters, or 3 liters. Same thing. So we're trying to see to get 3 liters or 3000 milliliters. So let's look at, I'll call this option 1. And option 2. So let's look at option 1. Option 1, you're buying 2 and again 1 free. So basically, you're buying 2 1 liter. So we having 2 1 liters will give us 2 liters. And the cost for that 2 liters would be 2 multiplied by $15, which is $30. And they're giving me 1 free. So I'm getting 1 liter free. So in total, I got 2 plus this one here, 3 liters for this same one price of $30. So let's look at option 2. Option 2 says buy 3 and get 1 free. So that means now I'm paying for 3. So 3 paid and I'm getting 1 free. And this here is 250 mLs. So this is 250, 250, 250. So I'm paying for 750 mLs. And I'm getting 1 milliliter free. Sorry, 250 milliliters free. 250 milliliters free. So in total, I'm getting 1 liter. So let's calculate the cost for 1 liter with option 2. So I'm paying for 3, getting 1 free. So that would be 3 by the amount for 1, which is $4, which will mean $12. So I'm paying $12 for 1 liter. So 1 liter would cost me $12 here. And I need to buy 3 liters. So 3 liters would be 12 multiplied by 3, which is equal to $36. So the question states, which is the better buy? Explain your answer. So I would say option 1 is the better buy by $6, by a difference of $6, right? I would say, because it's cheaper by $6. All right, so good. The incomplete quadrilateral four-sided shape with one line of symmetry, as the XY, is shown on the grid below. Complete the quadrilateral. So all we need to do is just draw a trapezium here. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I could count 1, 2, 3. Come out here. 1, 2, 3. Come out here. Connect diagonal line. Oh, alright. 1, 2, 3. Same thing here. Connect the diagonal line. But using the ruler, making sure it's neat, nice, not looking scrappy like this. I get a trapezium. Alright. Number 35. The incomplete bar graph below shows the number of books read by 4 students, Tom, Supat, and Nakia. It said Tom read twice as many books as Sue. So we're looking here to see which one is 2 times as many as the other. So if this one is 30, we have none with 60. So we're looking to see if we have any with 15. We have none with 15. So this could never be Tom or Sue. This one is 40. Double 40 would be 80. We don't have that. So half of 40 is 20. We have that. So this here now could be Tom. And then it said he read twice as many as Sue. So that means Sue read half the amount. So that half of 40 is 20. So this could be Sue. Then they said, but 10 more than Nakia. So 10 more. That means Nakia read 10 less. So 10 less than 40 would be 30. And well, this will be the last person here, Pat. They said Tom read 40 books. And Pat read, 10 books. Good. So that's it there. Alright, and that's the end of the 2025 National Test for Standard 3.